Hi, beautiful Aries. Welcome to a new era. My name's Emma. Aries, we're gonna look at your direction today, like where your life is headed. So I've been sitting with your energy a little bit before this to just really get into the direction of where things are going, and that can be anything. It can be about career. It can be about your health. It can be about your relationships. It can be anything. So you will feel where this like if you maybe it's like maybe you wonder about all of them. Maybe there's a big shift, or there's at least a small shift in some of those areas. You just feel where this sits with you. Feel where it resonates. So we're starting with a couple initial cards here. This is going to be give or take 6 weeks into the future. What is going on? What direction is Aries going in for the next 6 weeks? So when I'm recording this is around like beginning to mid May. So think of it as the whole of the rest of May and then the whole of June, basically. Where is it going? Happy, happy is the first card out. We have truth be told. So happy, happy is basically a feeling happy for no apparent reason, when like you're unconditionally happy. So you're practicing being in a state of happiness or being in a state of contentment, even though there's no real reason for it, if that makes sense. And truth be told is very much like to stay in your truth, stand in your truth, stand in your integrity. What really feels authentic to you and what maybe needs to fall away right now, and not hang on to things or people that you feel sort of shouldn't come along for the ride, at least not this moment in time. And we have to the sea. That's a beautiful energy. And we're going to read from the book for that one. I'm just going to get a couple more cards on the table to sort of get a fuller picture. What do we have for Aries here? For what direction are they headed in? And what direction you're headed in is, it sounds like you have nothing to say, but obviously if you feel like this energy, yeah, it's fitting and it's resonating where you're sitting as you hear this message, and you don't like the message, you have every right to change the direction. That's the beauty, that you are not in prison. Or wow, light. We have the sun card, which is like gorgeous energy, sits underneath happy, happy. Yeah, you can change whatever direction you're in. It might not feel it at times. That is what happy, happy is all about. That you can like start to vision something, or envision something even before it has happened, to make something happen. And then we have discontent and boredom that sits underneath truth be told. That's a little bit interesting, because it might be that you're trying to be authentic, you're trying to follow your path, or follow your whatever feels the most truthful to you. But perhaps you're engaging in situations that you really don't truly want to be in, or like you're continuing on doing things that is not authentic to you, like who you truly are. Maybe it was authentic to you a couple of months ago or a couple of years ago, but it's just not anymore. And yeah, there's an energy of like maybe trying to do something different, but not really fully get on that path. What's the direction for Aries, please? I'm just waiting for one more card here. Intuition. That sits underneath to the sea, which is like, pay attention to your inner guidance, like your higher power, your inner being, whatever you want to call it. like knows you, knows where you want to go, knows who you are, knows what you have asked for. And if we can sort of just tune into that inner voice, there is direction, there's guidance, right? So, basically spoke about that. Happy, happy. We can focus the card, please. There you go. Not really. You're sitting on a huge egg as well. Like that's huge potential. It's just saying like there can be like there's an element of like sitting on something for a while. Like you want just like any egg that's been laid that like if it comes to fruition, like you've been sitting on this egg and sitting on this idea, sitting on this vision, sitting on this um, feeling of where you want to go for a while. And I feel like with this happy happy to sort of help this vision come to fruition or help it move along, there needs to be like a little bit of a mind shift rather than like what Abraham, as in Abraham Hicks, would say, keep watching the truth or if keep watching the actual factual reality that you have like outside of your window or in your living room or your friend circle, your partnerships, your health, your bank account, whatever that is, like whatever you keep looking at as this is the truth or this is like this is reality, it's tricky for the reality to shift. We have those expressions: if you shift, the outer world has to shift with it. So there is huge potential here wherever you're moving towards right now, and whatever idea you've had about a movement forward, the direction you're going in, there's huge potential. But if you can, I shouldn't say but and if you can add like waking up and sort of almost deciding, I'm not saying hold any emotions down or don't feel the way that you feel or like suppress stuff. That's not what I'm talking about. um if you feel sad, you should feel sad. If there's emotions that are trying to come up to the surface right now, then by all means allow them. But usually there's judgment, and usually like we're judging the situation or we're judging ourselves for feeling a certain way. You can feel a certain way and still have a direction. Like you can still decide that even though I'm sad today, or even though I'm like feeling a little bit off your game or whatever, it doesn't cancel where you're going. Does that make sense? You can decide to go to the store. If we sort of narrow it down a little bit to like everyday life, you can decide that I'm going to go to the store. And even though the store is something that you know could potentially happen, you don't question if you can go to the store or not, if that makes sense. You will go to the store, and then you can wake up that morning and you've decided to go to the store, the grocery store, to get food or whatever. And you can wake up and feel crappy, and you can still go to the store, right? So it doesn't have to cancel where you're going. And in a bigger sense, then, like the direction that you're heading in, just because you're feeling off doesn't cancel the dream. Does that make sense? It doesn't cancel the direction. We have the light card, we have the sun card sitting just underneath this, which if we just look at it, like there's just a lot of light that wants to come in right now. There's a lot of like really high energy. So that can actually make you feel quite fatigued or quite like tired. I even found I read some place just the other day that, you know, all these really strong energies that are coming to the earth right now, that they can really cause like hot flashes. It can maybe feel even whether you're a woman or a man, it can feel that you are um, going through menopause, even though you're 26, or a man being 80, it can still be that you have hot flashes or that you feel like the temperature in your body goes like really up and down, and that's because it's affecting the nervous system. So there might be like a lot of roller coastery feelings in your body right now, but just know that this light is coming in, and whatever it's shining a light on, physically and metaphorically, is something that just needs to be brought up to the surface and be let go of. And I mean, the sun card, this is like a great movement forward. There's There's whatever you're planning, whatever you're headed towards has great potential. There's a lot of positive energy here, reinforcing where you're headed. Okay. And then we have the truth be told. So it's interesting. Today I'm seeing something that's like that can be the what is that called? Sköldkörtel. Um that's not arthritis at all. That's arthros. So the thingy that sits in the throat. Sorry that the word doesn't come to me now. That regulates all your hormones. It regulates a lot in the body. It's sort of the main. If this sköldkörtel doesn't really function, there's a lot of screwy stuff that's going on with the body. So there's something with, and it sits like right in the throat chakra. And today it's interesting. I see a little thing come down here underneath the owl, and it to me, I'm just being brought to the sköldkörtel. To the, it doesn't come to mind today. So something about it can even be, it might sound like a little bit of a stretch here, but just keep an open mind as I say this. It can even be that it's a little bit screwy in the sköldkörtel because you haven't really been honest with yourself, or haven't been truthful, or like there's an imbalance sitting, causing a lot of imbalance in the body because there's an imbalance with your truth. Does that make sense? If you stay in your truth, if you stay in your integrity, if you're speaking what you're thinking and what you're feeling at the same time, that's alignment. And when you're maybe feeling something or thinking something but speaking something different, maybe there's something going on with you. And even if people ask you, like, how are you, and you say, I'm good, and you don't feel that you're good at all, that's a misalignment. That might sound like really picky and really detailed, but it's an out of alignment comment. It's a out of alignment statement. You can at least say, I'm okay, like I'm getting there. Or if you want to, just say, like, be honest and just say, I really feel off today. There's something that just doesn't sit right. Um, and maybe you're afraid of, like, I don't know, follow up questions, or maybe you don't want to share that, like, or whatever that is. Like, even, the other day I was talking to a person and they really tried to change their reality. And, even my question saying, like, how is this thing going? Sort of bringing them to the now reality, saying, like, you should tell me now how this is, rather than asking, where do you want it to go? You know, it brings them back to repeating the very thing that they don't want to repeat, or the very thing that and we do that. And we do that out of, I mean, we do that out of caring. We do that out, like, how did that thing go? And it puts them right back there. I'm not saying it's a wrong thing to talk about it. If we need to just once or twice or three times, just needs to bring it out to the surface, voice it, air it, so that we can pinpoint what's going on. Nothing wrong with that. In fact, we need to do that so it doesn't get stuck in our bodies. But if it becomes like a repetitive thing that we are fully aware of, but we know what's going on, and we sort of try to change it, it can really be helpful to speak, just speak the truth of, either like speaking where you want to go, or speak exactly what's in alignment. Even speaking exactly what's in alignment is going to move you forward. It's when you're starting to say something and you feel something different, or you think something but you say something different, or you think a certain way but you do something different. It's when it's getting a little bit screwy. So there's something with, I mean, you can put all the pills in the world to try to balance those hormones in your body, but I think that the fastest way for you to regulate your hormones is actually speaking your truth. I hope that makes sense. And then we have discontent and boredom. So, because it's connected to the truth be told, and because we have, like, we're coming, like, the foundation here, like, we're coming from such a beautiful place. Like, there's so much opportunity here. Aries right now. And I'm no astrologer and I haven't kept track of planets and moons and suns at all lately, but I know that there's a big shift for Aries. It can even be like right around now. If there's Saturn returning to Aries, or if there's like a or there's a big influence of a planet leaving Aries or something like that, I just feel like there's a lot that's going to light up for Aries, like it's going to lighten the load. Sometimes it feels like we try and try and try and nothing comes of it, or like we just, we're on this path and you're trying to really steer something in a certain direction. It just doesn't really help. And then just a little slightest shift of the planets and like something releases. Um, so yeah, truth be told. So what I'm feeling is that you can, it might be even that you're showing two different faces. Like one way is the way that you truly feel, and another is what you're showing to the world. But when you're behind closed doors, it might not be that fun. And I'm sorry you feel that way. Like if you can, maybe start to actually get a little bit honest, even if you're out in public, even if you see your friends, even it might even be with family members or like coworkers. If you work at this company and you're seeing a lot of people every day, and you're just coming in and you're showing one face when in fact you feel a different way, that just to start to speak your truth, you would probably see how many people feel the same way. They're just putting on a face that's just not really honest. Or in whatever situation this is, maybe you're trying to put on a good front, and it's nothing wrong with that. Like, I do the same thing. Like, I try to bring the best version of me always. I want to spread the good as much as I can to people around me. I don't want to bring people down, or I don't want to leave people feeling worse than they did when I walked in, right? You want to at least keep people neutral or bring them up. And so if I can bring something to the table to do that, then I feel good about that. But it doesn't take out the fact that I can say or be honest sometimes about truly how you feel. And I just feel like it creates a bit of a discord for you. Maybe that's like something that's a little bit of a stepping stone to get like the direction you're going in. It feels like it's really cruising. It feels like it's a really beautiful energy here and beautiful opportunity. And I think that this is the hiccup. If there is a hiccup, this is it, that you're not super honest about truly how you feel. Maybe you need to voice that or something. Okay. And then we have, because then here's sort of the outcome, or like to the sea, which we're supposed to read from the book, which is a gorgeous energy. It's number 7. So it speaks about the angels have your back. And I've been working so much with the angels lately. Like, I mean, we have the angel team around us at all times. I know not everybody feels that, but to truly engage, truly say, instead of just saying, please help me or please guide me, it's like if you ask a person, please help me or please guide me, with what? Like, what do you want help with? Like, voice it or write it down, or like get really clear inside of your head. Like, what is it that you want guidance with? Because they will never overstep the free will, right? So get clear about what you want, and with everything. I just feel, on a really personal note here, so I am going through menopause for sure. um the the hot flashes, when I read that, I was like, maybe it's not, because I haven't had, or I barely have any hot flashes. It's just not, that's not my thing in the menopause thing, at least not yet, and I don't have to prepare for it either. um but there's not been much hot flashes, but lately there's been a little bit, and I'm like, is this sort of is this what we're doing now? And as I read that like there's such a strong influx of energy and not hot flashes, but the sun flashes coming in, that I was like, oh, maybe that's it. Maybe there is no thing as, you know what I'm trying to say. What I am trying to say though is that I felt that there is a discord in my body, like hormone wise, and I've been gaining weight, and I keep a lot of fluids in my body, and I just feel like I couldn't, as I usually have been able to do in the past, like just release it, or just, I go for an extra walk and there's the release and the body finds its way back. It's just been a more of a struggle. And just the other day, I was just sort of having a little bit of a conversation with the angels and just said, can you specifically just to start help me get more of like the metabolism going, help me clear out or clean out any water retention, anything that sort of that I hang on to. Can you help me clear that out? If there's any ideas on what I could get help from, please send me clips. Send me anything that I can do to help this. And I swear, like in the past it's only 2 or 3 days since I did this. Every morning I've been, even in the mornings, I've been waking up with like almost like a bloated stomach. And for the past 2 mornings, the stomach has felt smaller or not as bloated. And the the amount of clips that has come my way, I haven't even started to try one thing of them just yet. I've just sort of taken screenshots or saved them for later. There's been so much coming my way that feels so good to try, and I'm like so thankful. Just whenever that, I mean, not every person, obviously, depending on your age, depending on your gender, depending on, you're not going to be going through menopause right now. But anything, literally anything you want help with, just sit down and like speak to them, even though you don't hear anything back, or I don't hear anything back in the moment either. Like, as I'm sitting here and do these readings, there's images and there's sounds and there's messages. But as I'm doing that for myself and I sit and explain exactly what it is that I need, I don't have someone say, "Sure, Emma, we're going to do that for you." That's just, it doesn't happen. The answer comes in the result afterwards. Okay, I'm just putting that out there. Okay, to the C. That came from number 7, just saying that the angels are with you right now. Talk to them. Ask them, what do you want help with? Essential meanings: being in the flow, returning to source, recognizing how pieces fit together, a natural pattern of events. So this is like, it's a gorgeous energy. The oracle's message states, isn't it wonderful when you feel yourself in the flow of life? When events and conditions seem to engage you in a way that is fluid and effortless. This card reminds you that going with the flow is exactly what you need to do right now. Ride the wave of opportunity. See, there's a lot of opportunity here. This is exactly what we've been talking about. Ride a wave of opportunity formed by perfect conditions. Allow trust and faith to guide you forward as you flow like a river into the sea of life. And then the relationship message states, there are points in a relationship when you have to decide to go with the flow rather than dictate the course you share with another. Yeah, okay. Can you let go of the need to have things your way and allow the relationship itself, your combined goals and desires, to steer the ship? Can you both transcend your personalities and allow the partnership to form its own identity, its own energy? Now is the time to relax and see where this mutual journey leads. And I feel like this can be both for, like, if you're in a romantic partnership, if this is with uh, uh even with a business, like it can be like not dictating where this business is going to go, but rather like just going with the flow and see where it naturally takes you. Sort of jump on board and just go with. If this is like a friendship, if this is a family member, like, not try to dictate where it's going to go, but naturally see where it wants to flow, because they want you to flow with things right now rather than try to steer them. And then the prosperity message states, everything seems to work out when you stop scrambling and allow the sea of opportunities to wash over you and wake you up to your most prosperous potential. To get into that flow, you need to address your beliefs about abundance and money. The true meaning of your personal currency lies in your skills, your talents, and abilities, and most important, your core beliefs. And I know you know this. Everything flows from your inner world as it and is reflected in the outer one. When grateful to serve, you align your prosperity consciousness with a higher consciousness. You can expect miracles. Everything you need will come to you easily. So there is a feeling of like, again, maybe trying to, so apparently, so abundance and money is something that comes up here. So if you feel like, yeah, you need to feel like you're more abundant, and that can be abundant in, love, it can be abundant in health, it doesn't have to be just money, but a lot of the times we talk about abundance when it comes to money, right? So, sorry, we talk about money when it comes to abundance. So, take whatever resonates for you. But if this is the case that you want to feel more like abundant and feel more like you need to be having more money, that it comes from a personal currency. So, the personal currency of who you are and what you put out into the world. And if you can sort of start to focus on serving rather than feeling like, what can I get? To put the emphasis on how can I serve. And I don't care, like, and if you go like, I don't even know where to begin with that. Well, first ask the question, how can I serve? And again, with the angels, maybe ask the angels, please show me how I can serve. How can I be of service to the world, to my friends, to my job, to my career, to my family, to my however that wants to show up. Maybe, right now, it doesn't have to be like on a grand scale. You don't have to go out and serve into the, a nonprofit organization. You can serve in your own community. You can serve amongst your friends. Like, what can you do to help? This is the smallest thing. And that seems to get you, and obviously you shouldn't now do this to get the money flowing, but it seems to be the unlocking or the unveiling of the stuckness, which comes from maybe not being truthful. Truly, what do you want? Like, are you living the life that you want? If you're not, where is the hiccup? And then, like, if you can focus on, rather than what can I get, like how can I serve, seems to be like an unlocking thing for the flow to get going, or at least for you to feel like you're in the flow. Okay. And then we have the intuition card. That is just, it is about it's your third eye. It's your connection to the divine. It's your, I never say that, the connection to the source. So maybe that's something that you use, the word divine. To just really feel also into like moment by moment basis. It was yet another person in a personal reading that I did the other day, or a personal call, that this person expressed like, how can I then like, what is the thing? How can I get from here to here? What is the thing to get me there? And to understand that there's no like, yeah, we can have big jumps, big timeline jumps and all of that, but mainly life takes care of it. If you just sort of live your life and listen on a moment to moment basis, rather than we should decide what I should do with this or what I shouldn't do with this, rather than we don't know what you should decide to do with certain situations. We don't know what you should do with this friend or not friend. You only know that in the moment when it arises. Should I stay friends with this person? Well, let life show you. Go with the flow, see where it takes you. And on a moment to moment basis, where you will feel, you would get the intuitive nudge. If someone sends you a message or if someone gives you a call, and as you listen to that like look at that phone call and you see something's like a little bit off, then don't answer. It doesn't mean that you're not going to talk to that person forever and ever. It just maybe means you're not supposed to talk to them right now. So if you can also put a little bit more emphasis on yourself, like what's going on with you, for you, where does life serve you, not what can I get, but like if you can just get a little bit more honest with yourself, this thing will start to regulate, and it will start to regulate the body. Well, then it will start to feel easier and lighter for you, is what I feel. Okay, just gonna end because there's been so much angel talk. We're just gonna see if the angels have any additional message here in the direction for Aries. It is a beautiful direction. You are moving forward. The hiccup can be that you have not been truly in your alignment. Speak, feel, and do, or speak, feel, and think the same thing, or try to get that in as much as you can in the right direction. Getting those into balance is really important. Final message. There you go. In the near future, I mean, this is a reading for like 6 weeks, give or take, into the future. So I would say that is a near future. But they just want to sort of emphasize that if there's a hiccup, if you have felt like there is stagnation, that within the near future, you will feel this, you will get out of that discontent and boredom. You will feel more of the flow. I don't think that you can sit around waiting for that flow. I think you have to put yourself there. So just do that. Like I'm just gonna start, like, for a moment, just don't care about timing, don't care about like, just do it. Whatever it needs to be done. And obviously don't start by something that you hate. Like, get going with something that you really enjoy. Okay? That's what I have for you, beautiful Aries. Thank you so much for watching. If you're interested in a personal reading, read all about it in the description box. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. It really helps me a lot. Take care, guys.